Cancer. In this time, you are teaching people to understand, deal with, and express their emotions, how to feel. You are a healer who affects the emotional body of those around you. This helps those you aid to feel more stable and secure in dealing with their feelings. You tend to draw to you those who don't understand their emotional problems because they are too connected to the external world. When confronted with problems on the emotional level, these people don't know how to react. Often you unknowingly heal others by taking on the negativity of their emotional upsets. You have the ability to heal their emotions through absorbing the negativity into yourself, dissipating it, and then releasing the healed energy back into the universe. As a natural healer, you heal the emotions and the soul. You lighten people's hearts by giving them a shoulder to cry on. It relieves their emotional block, allowing the natural balance of their emotional body to emerge. Your gift is to relieve your fellow beings of their emotional burdens and upsets. To help along with this process, you have been granted the gift of being able to release this negativity back into the universe. The universe has promised to relieve your emotional burdens in return. You don't need anyone else to process them for you because as you take on and release the emotional burdens of others, your own emotional burdens are released too. You tend naturally to attract status quo, business orientated, reputation minded, stiff upper lip people. Since these individuals are unable to throw away anything, even their own negativity, and thus the need a receptacle in which to deposit their emotional hurts. Due to their business orientation, they naturally need everything to have a usefulness. And consequently, they want even their emotional wounds transformed into something positive. You can facilitate this process. Your best bet is to recognize and respect the pattern with which those you help are resonating. These are people with an accumulation consciousness, and they have difficulty realizing that the accumulation of emotional debris is a negative process. They must deposit their negative emotions somewhere. So they gravitate to you. It's your job to accept with maternal understanding these negative to understand the negativity of others and then to allow it to be dispersed into the universe. The self-pity trap. You may fall into the self-pity trap by not appropriately understanding the importance of your role in the universe. You're not supposed to become overly involved in the emotional lessons of those that you help, but rather allow yourself to receive their burdens, share your empathy, and get on with your own life. If you focus on people dumping on you instead of on the gift that they are sharing, you can become an actual garbage pail instead of an emotional recycling plant. The universe gave you the job of listening to the emotional ills of others because you have the capacity to release emotional pain, both your own and that of others. As you serve your universal function, you're rewarded by being allowed to experience a great depth of closeness with many, many people. The emotional support you provide is extremely important. If others do not find a way to release their emotional debris, they walk through life emotionally constipated and entirely shut off from their feelings. There is no room for their emotions to flow because they have created blockages. So they become cold and calculating and very unemotional. You relieve these blocks in others, thereby restoring their capacity to feel. You can heal the emotional imbalance in others and simultaneously keep your own emotional flow active by reaching out to share. Emotional sensitivity. There is a nurturing energy surrounding you that automatically relaxes other people and makes them feel comfortable. You project the serenity of a calm lake as you become accustomed to your path and willingly take on the role of assisting others in emotional purification. On a spiritual level, you are known as Earth Mothers and Earth Fathers. You were born with a high degree of emotional sensitivity and need to form behavior patterns that keep your sensitivity in a positive mode. If you are unwilling to share the gift of your sensitivity with others, you may close down and become overly sensitive on a personal level. This can lead to defensive, emotionally exaggerated responses that keep you from the closeness with others. Learning how to channel your own emotionally sensitivity is very important. When you are helping those who are emotionally out of balance, you can usually process their emotional negativity properly, but you sometimes tend to take others' upsets personally. This happens when you absorb the negativity into your body before the other person asks for emotional assistance. Jumping too quickly. Sometimes you do not give people a chance to become comfortable and sort out their own emotions before you intervene and try to resolve their upsets for them. They feel this to be an invasion of emotional privacy. You must learn to be more aware of whether those close to you are truly in need of and are seeking your assistance. When you violate the freedom of others to process their emotions, it leads to situations where you feel defensive and your feelings get hurt. Because you are an emotional healer, you will attract people who are not in touch with their own emotions. They need time to process their emotional entanglements. If you try to pull out their negative emotions before they have finished processing and are ready to release the feelings, you pull to yourself more pain than is necessary. You need to allow others the privacy of their emotions before you go in and try to yank them out. You are a receptacle, not an emotional surgeon. Be wary of allowing your feelings for others to interfere with your own process, your personal integrity, knowing what is right and wrong. When you allow yourself to feed on or overlook wrong action in those you are trying to help because you have no emotional bond with them, you end up retaining their negativity within your own being. On a physical level, you may retain water if you restrict your activity and or opinions due to your dependency on others or their dependency on you. Other people will simply dump their negativity. You must absorb the impact and then respond with your own true feelings about the situation. It is your responsibility to be true to yourself, to express your feelings and your natural responses, regardless what you anticipate the negative or hurtful reactions of other people will be. You need to absorb their negativity without feeling responsible for the distresses that people go through in their lives. Keeping this perspective allows you to maintain your own ethics, truly helping others to heal their emotions. It is also helpful for you to prevent your own emotional attachment from getting in the way of the healing process. You need to remember that when other people are going through personal suffering, it is simply the universe's way of waking them up and putting them back into alignment with their true purpose. In this incarnation, you are learning to successfully interact with others on an emotional level and to bring stability to your emotional body. Your temperament contains an accumulated past life residue of feeling that you have to perform to be on top and in control of people and situations in order to be accepted by others on an emotional level. In your youth, you may have problems relating to your own family because you don't understand your usefulness within the unit. You feel you must earn your way in order to achieve a feeling of belonging with others. In later years, this can lead to difficulty in emotional situations. If you don't learn to separate your ability to provide from your ability to experience emotional nourishment. You have come into this lifetime with a family that you have never been with before, and you therefore feel uncomfortable within your own family unit. You have many lessons to learn about the emotions and the emotional responsibility that family members have towards one another. Your discomfort forces you to learn to deal with your emotions. You can either learn to be responsible for your moods and attitudes, choosing not to create friction for those around you because of your extreme emotional sensitivity, or be at odds with everybody in the family and have to learn through constant emotional irritation. One way to deal with your emotions is to become more aware of the effects that your emotional outbursts have on those around you. Understand that everyone deals with emotions differently and has the right to emote in his or her own way. Being overly sensitive, you should refrain from making emotional judgments before digesting everything that has occurred in any given situation. You are learning not to take on feelings that don't belong to you, not to project that others are in a bad mood because of you, and not to feel that you have to defend your own existence because someone in your family is in a bad mood. If you respond defensively to the moods of others, you annoy the very people with whom you are trying to learn your lessons. As the agitation gets stronger, you feel even less wanted, for you are so sensitive that you feel the annoyance of others, and you know when they don't want to be around you. But usually, you are not in touch with the fact that your own defensive attitude is separating you from your family, not the true essence of who you really are. Allowing other family members emotional freedom and recognizing their rights to feel differently from you about any given thing. As you become less defensive, others will enjoy being around you, and learning process that can take a positive course that is a less painful one for everyone involved. Prior soul memories of tremendous success in business management and worldly affairs simultaneously accompanied a neglect of family interaction and warmth. Overemphasis on business and the neglect of the family have created an imbalance that necessitates your making emotions a top priority this time around. Although you are loved by your family, quite often you don't recognize it because you do not know what emotions feel like. You are here to break the pattern of walking away from emotional situations and hiding in the outside world. You tend to feel isolated even with others until you gain a sense of belonging within yourself. One of your first lessons is to learn to be comfortable and centered within your own body so that you feel emotionally secure when in the company of others. Once you feel that sense of belonging, you will begin to sense your own value in relationships with others. Then you will feel secure enough to confront issues and situations instead of sidestepping everything. When you reach the point of allowing yourself to be cared for, you are well on the road to learning your lesson. All the fears you have about coming out of your emotional shell are the result of not knowing this inner sense of security. Consequently, when others approach you to share nurturing on an intimate level, you feel uncomfortable unless you know exactly what they expect of you. Before you can allow yourself to feel, you need the security of knowing you can fulfill the other's expectations. At times, this can cause you to appear cold and calculating when actually you're soft hearted. On the emotional level, you are a child of the universe. You have natural abilities with business and function very comfortably in that world. Yet, back in your home environment, many of you tend to be emotionally immature. The male expects to be mothered by his wife, and the female expects to be coddled by her husband. Through your mate and those in your intimate circle, you seek to replace the emotional nurturing you did not allow yourself to feel as a child. This is why it is important for you to learn to feel secure within your own being. You do not have to go through life seeking approval from those you love. Feeling every adjustment and criticism as a personal rejection can lead to your withdrawing into your inner shell. You are learning to accept yourself as a being who is going through different phases of life and has ups and downs and makes mistakes just like everyone else. You are realizing that mistakes do not mean you are not worthy of love or are not a useful human being. It just means, whoops, I guess I need to try that again.